Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is a day. Someone's getting called. Roan? Your people in India?
You're racist, bro.
Classic. Welcome back to the podcast. We are here live from HQ3. This is the podcast. It's banked. This is a banked episode. Do we not want to say that? No?
Cat's out of the bag now.
You want to keep it going?
Cat's out of the bank.
Oh, let's just restart. I'll just restart it.
No.
Should we not say it?
Keep going. Let's keep going forward.
I have no problem restarting. We've been going for 2 seconds. Should I restart?
No.
I'm being dead serious. Do you
Why
want me
would
to
you
restart?
restart?
If you guys don't want me to say
It
it's
is what
banked.
it is. We've had to bank. We've had to bank for, scheduling reasons, and this is the best we can do.
It's because Sass is moving to Chicago. It's because Sass is on
Big
the
Cat
month
finally gave me the blank check that you guys have been asking him for.
Hairball is going on his big fishing trip, and we have to ensure that we have episodes for
That
while he's
is
away.
not the reason why we're banking episodes.
Is it not?
Strictly for my fishing trip?
No. The truth is that Harry and I are going to the Ryder Cup, and that week we will be participating in that the whole week, and so we have to bank episodes. And we don't do it very often, but we promise to be as funny as ever. And
We'll try.
Bro, don't even explain yourself.
I know.
I don't even think you have to explain yourself. You look too good to have to explain yourself.
I'm surprised the Hairball brought it up.
The banking?
Banking.
I like to get ahead of it,
Because Tim Duncan over here with all the banking.
Yeah, seriously, bro. Living in the West Bank. Speaking of, what side are you on with all that shit?
Oof. I don't know. I was thinking about it today. Are you guys going to start, doomsday prepping at all? Do you think it's a good time to just, get the essentials?
A gun.
Like a gun. That's pretty much what I'm getting at, yeah.
A gun. I don't think a gun's a bad idea.
Just to have.
Yeah.
I just worry I would kill myself.
You know what I worry?
Quick.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours.
Like in the store as you're picking it up.
I worry that I'd be part of Clemmer's New York City basketball team versus Kirk's basketball team.
Yeah.
And that I'd get into a beef with one of my teammates, and then I would bring my guns in and say, choose one.
You were Kirk?
In the locker room. Put my guns down on the chair and then offer him to choose, and then it would escalate into this whole thing that would get us kicked out of the league.
Right.
I say this
Francis'
because
Arena.
I've been watching
Gil Arenas.
the Gilbert Arenas Untold.
And
Yeah.
Javaris Crittenden.
How is it?
Javaris Crittenden.
I looked it up. I never watched it.
It's pretty good. I mean, you feel bad for Javaris Crittenden, and you
Yeah.
hate Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas is an asshole, at least according to this documentary.
Yeah.
He's this clown. He's a goofball.
He's one of the nicest people I've ever met.
Shut up, really?
Yeah, we did Pat Bev with him twice, and the second time we went to his house, and he just had us in his house, and he was just so generous and
Yeah, well, maybe he's slightly reformed. He did seem contrite in the documentary. I mean, he ruined Javaris Crittenden's life.
Well, what was the exact story? I forget it. I don't even think I know who had the gun. I just know that there was a
I remember when that happened.
gambling debt.
In real life. I remember a kid at school telling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just telling me that someone brought a gun into the locker room.
Well, what happened was, first of all, Gilbert Arenas collected guns, and he had 460 guns.
Damn.
He's a doomsday prepper.
Yeah.
He probably had 2,000 cans of beans.
That's
too.
how I'm trying to get.
He's
He
got
probably
enough guns for all the people that are going to be hanging out with him
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
out. Let's go out as a team. Everybody grab a
Everyone
gun.
pick a gun.
I don't think I can fit 460
Yeah.
people in here.
Get 4 guns each.
Everybody grab back up.
Who's he hanging out with? Laura Croft? Just a thigh strap for his guns.
Yeah.
That's too many guns.
That's what I would do.
Gilbert Arenio. So anyway, what happened was they were on a flight for a game.
Yeah.
It was a short flight from LA to Phoenix, and
Very
they were
short.
playing what?
Very short.
Yeah. They were gambling on cards.
Mhm.
2 guys got into an argument. Javaris Crittenden inserted himself. Was like, why are you, not giving him his money back? And then Gilbert Arenas was like, why are you getting involved? He wasn't even part of it. He woke up from a nap and started giving Javaris Crittenton shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it escalated and they started getting angry. At this time, Javaris Crittenton had played for the Lakers, at which time he became a member of the
Wizards.
Crips.
Oh, Crips.
Wow,
Javaris
on the Lakers.
Crippenden.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, he got a big C tattoo on his rib cage.
Feels like an odd move. Where is he from?
Look, you need
Is he
when you're
from
in LA,
LA?
if you can't, you need protection.
Dude, he
No.
has 426 guns.
No, Javaris didn't have 426. He only had one chromed out.
Oh, okay.
was
That's not
chromed out.
terrible, though. One chromed out piece.
Yeah, but one loses to 400, 400 every day.
Well,
of the
not
week.
always, because like you can only shoot 2 guns at once.
It sounds like he has all 400 ready to rip at all times.
Yeah, they are loaded.
Damn.
No, I don't know if they're loaded.
It's a lot of loaded weapons.
I'm sure they are. That's probably like what that girl is walking around with in her backpack in The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
She never runs out of bullets.
That girl, I hate that girl.
The actor?
Yeah.
The lesbian?
Is that what she
The
is?
autistic lesbian.
Is she a lesbian? She's a lesbian, right?
And
In the show.
in the show, or in real life, she's autistic. In the show, she's a lesbian.
I can't watch that show. She's too bad.
I watched the first episode and that was it.
The third episode where the gay one,
Yeah.
that was great. And then it went all downhill from there.
Oh, I
season
heard-
2. Did you watch season 1?
I watched 3 or 4 episodes of season 1.
Oh, so you didn't finish season 1.
No.
And
Should
then
I?
But you're watching season 2?
No.
Oh, I thought you were watching season 2.
Gave up.
Okay.
It wasn't gay anymore.
Yeah, no, the show.
They went back to straight, and I was like, I don't give a fuck
Well, it gets
about
gay in
this.
season 2.
Does it?
I don't
Yes.
love the post-apocalypse. I like movies like that. I don't like show. I don't need a show of just multiple seasons of zombies and viruses. You know?
Yeah, I think they do a good job of it because I usually don't like shit like that, and it's been able to hold my attention.
Really?
But I just think the only thing that I think you probably have the same thing going on is this 15-year-old girl can't stop like whipping ass of bloodthirsty zombies and like grown men who would want to kill her, and she never takes an L. She never fucking loses.
So you know who'd put her in her place? Gilbert Arenas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean Gilbert Arenas is the perfect match for the little girl from Last of Us.
Absolutely.
That's not a bad. I would like to see that on like Deadliest Warrior on Spike. You guys ever watch Deadliest Warrior? Yeah.
Gilbert Arenas, and he's just like spinning with his stats.
I watched Fight Quest. Did you ever watch that?
No.
That was pretty good.
And what is that?
Fight Quest.
Is it similar to Deadliest Warrior?
I don't know what Deadliest Warrior is.
Really?
They would, like,
Oh,
take,
you would have
like-
loved it. It's so good.
It would be like a Mongol versus like a Hun or something like that. Like 2 eras that would have never
Yeah.
fought one another,
I see.
but they would simulate a battle between
Yeah.
them.
Alien versus Predator.
Similar. I think the
Basically.
biggest one they ever did was the Al Capone versus Jesse James, and it's sick. They do like hours of simulations and like tests
Wow.
with
They
the
did
guns
Mexican-
that those guys would use into like dummies and shit, and then they'd run a full like CGI AI created.
Is it just
simulation.
one-on-one, or would it be Al Capone marshaling his goons
I don't remember.
and Jesse James marshaling his goons?
I want to say it was goons involved.
Goons are involved.
Yeah.
That makes
They're
it way
gooning.
sweeter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't know if like Al Capone was known to have like the quickest trigger finger or anything like
Well,
that. I
'cause
think
he was
just a
probably
mob-
fat as
he was fat
fuck
as
and-
shit.
He
yeah.
didn't have to do any of that because he
No.
had
I don't
goons.
know.
Yeah, he didn't do
That'd work.
anything. I don't think Al Capone ever even killed somebody, or at least he was
what
never
about the-
charged. For
He may
murder.
have done.
He probably did.
Well, he had syphilis too.
True.
They also
silent
in
killer.
that Greatest Warrior they had Venezuelans against pedophiles too. Which was
Really?
incredible.
That's a fun
Yeah.
one. I haven't seen that.
The real Alien versus Predator.
Since when are those mutually exclusive? I know plenty of Venezuelan pedophiles.
They did a bunch of military ones. They did like the KGB versus the IRA or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
These are cool.
You should watch them. They're sick. They used to be
What's
on
it on Spike TV?
Spike.
I mean, it's not. They don't. You can watch them on YouTube.
Spike
probably.
had some good programming.
Oh, of course.
They did The Ultimate Fighter.
For Men by Men.
Was that what it was?
That's what I think it was.
There's
Like, it was supposed to be like the
bisexuals on Spike TV. 4 bisexuals. I thought that was Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. But
For by Men.
Fembomb.
take us back to Javaris Crittenton joining the Crips.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he
gotta
joins
hear
the
more about
Crips
that.
when he's in LA, but he doesn't get any burn. Phil Jackson doesn't love him, so he
'Cause
gets
he's a
traded.
Crip, and
Yeah,
Phil
probably because
Jackson's
he's
a
wearing the
blood.
wrong colors.
Yeah.
Hey, cut. Rep your set, cut. Coach, I
Then,
just want to play.
then he gets traded to Washington, and he's embraced by Gilbert Arenas, and they get into that argument on the plane.
Yeah.
And Gilbert Arenas is a guy who just pokes and pokes and pokes, and as soon as he realizes that he's gotten under someone's skin, he continues to poke that, and that is not how Javaris Crittenden. He does not play that way.
He
don't play
like that.
No, he doesn't. He does. That's not where he's from.
He doesn't play unless he's on the court.
And even then, I don't think
Then
he
he
played that
plays
much.
professionally.
Well, I don't
He's
even
a professional
think.
player.
I mean, he was more of a garbage time type
He's
of
a bench guy.
Oh, really?
He really
Yeah.
doesn't.
Oh.
He doesn't play. Period.
Yeah.
That's crazy to have one of these scandals and you were on the bench the whole time.
Well, just because you're on the bench doesn't mean you don't play.
But
Or
also,
it means you don't.
If
play.
you're bringing a gun into the locker room, you got to be averaging 30 a game at least.
no,
Minimum.
15. But you have to have
Minimum.
really good
Minimum.
distributing. And
Oh, you got to have
you got to be a good
double-doubles,
defender.
triple doubles.
You're telling me Karl Anthony Towns couldn't bring a gun into the locker room?
He'd be shooting it like the like limp wrist.
Yeah.
Stop! After all that, you're gonna fucking shoot at me? He's gay. I think that Javaris Crittenden joining a gang shows a lot about him. Joining a gang when you're already rich is
But he wasn't that rich. He was on a rookie contract. He wasn't getting any playing time.
famous even then.
Yeah.
Even worse.
I mean, it'd be like if Brock Purdy joined the Crips.
Yeah. It'd be like Brock Purdy's rich ass.
Well, the thing is that Javaris's friends from back home in Atlanta said that when you go out to LA, don't assume that it's going to be all glitz and glamour Hollywood. There are plenty of people out there who don't play either.
I think, yeah, because he went to Georgia Tech. He was on the same Georgia Tech team as Thaddeus Young.
He was on the same high school team as who's the Magic center that was really good?
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard. They played high school ball together.
Yes.
Really?
Both from Atlanta.
believe
Gwinnett,
that?
South Gwinnett.
This story runs even deeper than this.
Where
by
in
the way.
Atlanta was he from?
I'm not sure.
You don't know the
Bad
exact
area.
Bad area.
He went to high school with Nick Murphy, I think.
Oh, really?
I think that they were all in the same squad as Nick Murphy.
That's right. And Javaris, for a moment, worked at a pharmacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he was trading perks for guns.
Yeah,
Damn.
he was getting codeine and trading it for guns.
But anyway, they get into this argument, and then Gilbert is trying to call Javaris's bluff and says, "You're not man enough to shoot me," because Javaris threatens to kill him. And he goes, "You're not man enough. You're not man enough." And in 2 days later, they had practice, or Gilbert, to continue this taunt, brought 3 guns into the locker room from his stash. And
Just the first 3 on top.
one was like a Desert Eagle. No, he looked through
swept
his
them into
wall.
his bag.
He spent time
Yeah.
selecting.
Selecting which guns he was
The
going to kill his
pieces.
teammate with.
Yeah.
That he was going to get killed with, right?
Yeah, and he put them on Javaris's chair with a note that said, "Choose one." As in, I'm going to give you the gun that you'll kill me with. I still don't believe that you're man enough to shoot me.
Damn.
And then when Javaris comes in, he sees the guns. It makes him angry. But because Javaris was worried that Gilbert Arenas was actually threatening him, talking about guns and stuff, Javaris has brought his own gun in.
Oh, the chrome.
His chrome.
Yeah.
And they get arguing.
This is crazy.
And then Javaris pulls out his gun
Yeah.
and is like, "I don't need one of your guns. I brought my own." And I think Gil had brought guns that weren't loaded. So when he saw the chrome, he thought, "Ooh, this has gone beyond my prank.
Yeah.
I no longer have the upper hand. This is bad." And then it de-escalated somehow. It de-escalated, but all the guys in the rest of the locker room were like, "I'm going to get out of here."
Yeah, I'd probably head home.
Yeah, like Mike Miller. Who are
Nick Young was
Nick
on the
Young,
team.
Yeah, I know Nick Young was.
2 different people brought guns into the
Antoine Jameson?
Yeah.
I would get in the car immediately.
Yeah, I know. Me
There
too.
had to have been just like a white guy, like a white center.
100%.
Or like an Eastern European who's like, I
Yeah.
don't play like that.
Yeah. Just the second he saw it, just turned around and got back in the car.
Yeah.
2 different guys brought guns in today.
Yeah.
Just getting home to
Calling your
wife.
mom on the way home.
Yeah.
Not even your wife.
So 2 guys separately planned to bring weapons in today.
But dude, the big issue
You
was
gotta get
that
trained,
Gilbert
honey.
Arenas was stocking his gigantic arsenal by when they would go to places like Phoenix, he would go to a gun store
Yeah.
there and buy like a rocket launcher. And
Phoenix,
then
you could
he
buy
would
guns.
fly it back in
Oh.
his gym bag on the NBA plane because they didn't get searched.
Oh.
And so he would bring that from there to Washington, D.C., which I can imagine has pretty strict gun laws. You know, you probably can't have a fucking RPG.
Imagine if he
No.
had shot his teammate with a rocket launcher.
Especially just
Yeah.
having it in the overhead bins is probably not. yeah. It's just fucking,
Don't worry,
Items may have
I
shifted.
wrapped it in a sock.
I removed the grenade. It's sitting between ice packs. I didn't crush him yet. So that he claims in the doc that that the reason the NBA, because they both got suspended for 50 games, which was a big suspension at that
Yeah.
time. It's
It's not that bad though, if you think
No,
about
but it was the biggest suspension up to that point. I think
Yeah.
he said it was the biggest suspension up to that point in the history of the NBA.
Damn. I'm surprised you don't just get kicked out of the NBA.
Which seems
You guys know
surprising to
we
me.
have a 3 strikes policy
Well,
on guns in the locker room.
Ben
And you brought
Javaris
3 in.
tried to it ended up tornadoing his career
Yeah.
because then he would, he got dropped from the team because, Gilbert was a first
Star player.
all American. He was,
Yeah.
I remember he had back-to-back 50-point games, I think,
Jesus.
in that season, one of which was against the Lakers, I seem to remember. Really good player.
Yeah.
All-star. But then he had tryouts for other teams and he didn't get picked up, and the stench of his gun incident
He wasn't good enough to overcome it.
stayed with him. And then he went back to Atlanta where he was constantly getting robbed because he would wear his $100,000 earrings and necklaces,
It's devastating.
as he went to fucking TCBY.
There's no Crips at the yogurt shop to protect him either.
Correct. I know.
Correct. And so
Now
then
he's got a fucking
went to hunt down one of these bad guys that had stolen from him and shot him with an AR-15.
oh my god.
And that guy was next to a woman who was an innocent bystander, and he shot and killed her. And she died. And then he went to
He
prison.
killed her and she died?
Both.
Dude, this guy had a rough hand.
And then he Is that
He
a
got dealt
joke
a-
about his card game that led to all this?
Yeah, but it's he got dealt a bad hand.
Well, then he goes to prison. He's sentenced to 23 years, and he gets out after 10
Mhm.
because the prosecuting attorney at the time of his sentencing was Dwight Howard's father,
Mm.
and gave him cut a deal. I think it was that. Cut a deal with the judge or cut a deal with whomever to say, like, I know this kid. Give him the opportunity to be paroled and put on house arrest after a decade. So he only did 10 years.
And that's
After
all happened
after
since
shooting
then?
and killing an innocent woman. And now he's out.
And what does he do now?
I actually didn't finish
coach
the
of the
doc. There were
Wizards.
8 minutes left.
Yeah.
But that's as far as I got. And by the way, people will get mad at me for spoiling things. These are documentaries.
Yeah.
I think it's
You
okay.
can't really spoil a
Yo,
documentary.
so you didn't finish it. You're just
Yeah.
remembering
You
what...
kind of just gave us a good teaser because I'm definitely going to watch it now.
Right. And then after that, I'm told Javaris Crittenton actually underwent gender reassignment surgery and became the lover of Dwight Howard,
That would make most sense.
whom he was accused of having a dalliance.
Yeah.
Judge, I need you to let my wife out. I need you to let my prison wife out.
Does Dwight Howard have a trans child? Or am I making that up in my head?
Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade is a trans child, yes. Yeah.
Zaire. Then I saw recently an interview of Zaire. It was like for like Fashion Week or some shit like that. And Zaire was like, I want to be a scientist or something like that. It's like, they were like, I want to be like a icon, like fashion model and a scientist. It's like,
Well, yeah, maybe the fashion model, but everybody knows that women don't succeed in STEM the way that men do.
right. You
Not
had
true.
your
This
chance to
podcast
succeed
is
in
all
STEM.
about women in STEM.
Yeah.
What is there? Did they add a letter to STEM? I saw a school that had a different letter in STEM.
I don't know. But famously, the president of Harvard got, right before I got there, got kicked out.
For what?
Saying in an interview or an article that women's brains are somehow like less equipped for them to succeed. There's a scientific reason why women don't succeed in STEM the way that men do.
Those dudes just, once they get the science in their head, they just can't turn it off. Like, he couldn't bite his tongue on that.
Yeah.
And be like, no, women are equals to men.
Yeah.
He had to get it out.
He had to be
Yeah.
like, they need to iron.
Actually, just in a fucking, at a podium at some Harvard meeting.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just don't say it. You don't have to say
Yeah,
it.
you just because you think it doesn't mean you have to like make that the hill that you literally die on.
Yeah. No, I got to get this out.
But he ended up having a rebound in his career. I think he was named like Secretary of the Treasury or something.
At Harvard?
No, of the
Of the
government.
country. Of the
What's that
country.
guy's name? Who was that president of Harvard? Could you look that up? President of Harvard in like 2008. Charles Sumner. Sumner? No.
Sumner sounds like a Civil War ass name.
And was he replaced by
No, Drew
Gay?
Pass was when I was there. Before her.
Drew was a girl.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? What the Barrymore?
What in the
Summers.
fucking
Larry Summers.
Barrymore?
That's who it was. Larry Summers. Larry Summers.
And he just had to say it, huh?
Yeah.
Had
He's
to
the
get it off
guy
his
in the
chest.
in the Facebook movie who the Winklevoss twins go and meet with him
Really?
about the fact that Zuckerberg has stolen their idea. And he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Get out of here, you dweebs. 6'8" fucking weird ass dudes.
That's
I need to get
crazy.
back to disparaging women.
Yeah.
I gotta
I'm
watch
fucking
that
busy.
movie again too.
When he was with Theo, when he went on Theo Vaughn's podcast, he was like so like shy. He was like, yeah, they made like a little movie about it, like acting like
yeah.
people didn't know exactly what the fuck they were talking about. Like that more people know about Mark Zuckerberg from the movie than actually from Facebook.
Yeah.
I
It's also
don't know if I would argue with that.
a lot of people sort of say that that's the best movie that's been made in the last 20 years.
That's what Quentin Tarantino says.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie is really fucking
It's up
good.
there. Yeah, it's up there.
The first
What
time I
about-
saw that movie, I was mind blown.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta make an app. I gotta make an app.
Yeah.
I was like that. I convinced myself that I was gonna get into programming after that. I took a class in school.
You would have been a good programmer.
I would have sucked.
Why?
I would have been fine. I feel like I'm pretty good at problem solving, but I don't know if I had it.
I
in me
think
to
you
learn
have
it.
that sort of analytical brain. You like Minecraft.
Yeah, but that's different.
There's a big correlation between children who do Minecraft and end up in computer science.
Probably during the Java days more than now.
Java days.
Would Java? There's two types of Minecraft now. There's Java, which I believe is, or maybe I don't even know if Java still does Minecraft. It's either that or like bricks something. Fucking.
I think you would have been good at programming. I think you have the temperament for it.
You definitely have the neck for
You
it.
dress the way that they do. You blink at the frequency that they blink at.
There's Bedrock and Java. Java Edition is known for its modding capabilities. That's where the coding comes into play.
Mm-hmm.
We tried when we were getting into Minecraft earlier in the year. We were trying to build a server, and it was like you had to like code your own server if you didn't want to pay. And I was like, I don't have this in me. I tried to do it, and I was like, this is way too advanced.
That would have been cool. It would have been cool if your background into comedy was coding.
Yeah, it's a good plan B, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the best plan B you could have.
Well, that's what they used to say to truckers. They were like, learn to code.
Yeah.
And truckers took that as a slur.
Learn to code or hit the road.
Have you guys ever tried to learn how to code?
God, no.
Real? You never even for
Dude,
like an hour.
My brain was so shifted towards reading and history and stuff,
Yeah.
away from math and symbols.
Yeah.
I heard that 60% of Harvard graduates are in consulting or finance.
That seems high to me, but
Maybe it's 40%.
that wouldn't surprise me, I guess.
That's so nuts.
Finance is like, but it's like you could break down like 70% of jobs into be like, oh yeah, you do finance. Like everyone I know does finance, but they all do different things.
True. The most coding I ever did was like changing my MySpace background.
Yeah. I did a program online that was, I believe, C++. And then I did one in school, but I think I looked up the answers for most of those.
What do you mean looked up the answers?
I think I found some script online.
Yeah, that's what's tough is that you can just...
But I mean, if you think about that, I'm just being the smartest coder I could be. Why am I going to waste my time on a code that's already been written for me?
Yeah, but being able to write your own code from scratch is so fucking... It's so foreign to me. That's
Dude,
like
it's
being able
like
to come up with your own language.
It's not even like a thing that... Is there just normal people who do or have another job who just know, oh yeah, but I know code at the end of the day?
I
Like
think some people do.
But it's got to be such a small group of people.
Well,
Like, do we know anyone who just like goes home and they can just rip code all night? I know code.
Tyler, can you? Oh, I thought you were being like...
Yeah,
Do you know?
maybe,
Is anyone here at the office? Trey?
I'm sure there are a couple people here
Yeah.
that can code.
I wish I knew how to code.
Quigs are all...
That's how you build a sick-ass website. Knowing how to code, if you actually know how to do it. That's how you get like all the options.
I mean, I think at this point, there's two, you get those template websites like Squarespace and stuff. They do a pretty nice job. And then AI is going to just be able to code better than I think most people at some point soon.
Yeah. AI makes a lot of mistakes.
Now,
Yeah.
give it some time.
You ever have to fact check ChatGPT?
Every time
And go,
I do it.
that's actually not true. And I know
Frankie
that's not true.
Frankie caught it.
I've caught it dozens of times.
I always catch it. I'm like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, and then they go, actually, you're right. They're like they correct themselves, and you're like, aren't you supposed to be right the first time? Isn't that the whole point of this?
It's amazing what you could learn from ChatGPT.
ChatGPT learns a lot from me. It's hilarious that I'm just bickering with ChatGPT. But no, I had to use ChatGPT a ton when I was trying to figure out the passport thing.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way. And multiple times I would send them something and they'd be like, yeah, this. And I'd be like, that's not that. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, you're right. It's this. And
Well,
I'd be
you're
like,
teaching it then, right?
yeah, but how does it not know?
Because it's new.
Well-
It's a new student.
I'm more of a Microsoft
I'm a Grok
Copilot. I'm a Microsoft Copilot.
Really?
Exclusively.
That's nice. How's that? You
So
see that
amazing.
they're adding Apple Intelligence? Siri, I think, is just going to turn into ChatGPT.
It's probably trash.
Yeah. It'll probably be great.
No,
I had
Microsoft
to guess.
Copilot's where it's at. I got my it's got a nice little British voice.
Of course it does.
It makes it feel so much smarter.
I just know Microsoft Copilot's not even top 3 AIs.
Don't you? I'll slap the shit out
I
of you
just
right now.
know it. There's
That-
no way you could tell me you think that Microsoft Copilot's going to be better than Apple Intelligence.
It is.
No.
I know for a fact it is. Isn't there a new Microsoft documentary coming out about with Steve Ballmer, Bill Gates, and their current CEO or something like that?
Is Billy not the CEO?
Mm-mm.
What is he doing now?
I think
He's
he's just
mostly
covering
involved
up
in
his tracks from Epstein
code.
Island.
Yeah.
Philanthropy.
He's just ripping code.
It's so funny how when you talk about Microsoft, everybody says Bill Gates, Bill Gates. But quietly, there's just a couple other guys that are like 25 billionaires. Like
Yeah.
Steve Ballmer bought the Clippers. I'd never heard of him before.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's that guy dancing around on stage? Oh, he's one of the founders of Microsoft.
It's insane.
He's
Yeah.
their
Like-
sweatiest founder.
Well, because there's what? How many billionaires are there? It's like 2,000?
A lot.
Something like that?
It's not
So
that cool
many.
anymore.
Dude, I was watching a video the other day. You see those Instagram videos where they're like, like Tommy Smokes did one where it's like, we're gonna they pretend to meet up and like we're gonna go on a jog. How many miles are we jogging today? You ever see those?
Yes.
And
of
it was
course.
one. It was a girl, and she meets up with this like older dude, probably like 40s, 50s, and he's like, oh my god, he's like, hey, how's it going? And he's like, I'm thinking we run 3 miles today. I gotta get back to the office. And she's like, oh, totally fine. And then they start jogging. She's like, so tell everyone, like, what do you do for work? And he's like, I am the COO of Blackstone. And I was like, what? And I looked him up. It's worth $10 billion.
What? I don't know what this is. I don't know anything
It's
about
like
this.
the equivalent to like the
Do you
man
mind
on
if
the street
can I see your
videos.
how much do you pay in rent?
Yes.
It's exactly the equivalent to that.
But their medium is going for a jog.
They go for a jog
They did it with
instead.
they've done it with
So
Jack
it's
Mack and
contrived.
Tommy Smokes.
Yes, exactly.
Both of them went on a jog?
I don't know if they
That's
actually
the
jogged.
that's the banner headline. Yes, they
Yeah.
both went on jogs.
I don't think either of those guys knew how to jog.
I think you get to pick how long you want to go.
And how fast you go.
And you probably also don't run at all.
They,
Realistically.
Yeah.
you think they like run while you answer the
There's
question?
no
They're like,
way that they're just like, all right, let's bang out these next 3. We're done filming. We just finished filming. Let's run now.
Yeah, you said you were going to do 3.
Yeah. And then the COO of Blackstone is like, yeah, I'm down.
They
Yeah.
probably had like a Black Hawk helicopter following them at like a foot distance, like making sure that nobody crosses him. His life is probably so valuable.
I know.
Think about the amount of life insurance that a 10 billionaire has.
A lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, so that guy just goes out. I mean, he probably did something fucked up. And then the CEO was probably like, you got to go do a TikTok video or something. Get back in the mix. Get
Or
some
all these
positive-
guys are like think it's like viable to be like a internet superstar. Like they get so much wealth and then they like are still not fulfilled. The same thing you were talking about, like we wanted to kill more buffaloes and they're like, oh, actually what I want is to be like a popular person on the internet.
Yeah, I just don't get, like, if you were worth...
What have I not conquered? Influencer.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Come
you
get ready with
10
me as I go.
Yeah.
You walk onto my yacht.
I guess I could see it being fun if it's something you don't do. But it's like, if you're worth $10 billion,
You're like, why are you doing that?
if 60 Minutes hit me up and they were like, hey, want to come do it? I'd be like, no. I'm going to go home to my fucking mansion and not speak to anyone. until
Yeah, but you
tomorrow.
Play
probably-
video games on my
PC.
PC.
Yeah, but you'd probably
have
fake
one.
your
One of my
Diablo
15.
numbers.
Yeah, of course I have one.
You'd have a PC
yeah, I
at
got
that time.
multiple stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, you'd be
One super
bowling.
PC.
They'd be like supermarket aisles just lined up next to each other.
I just, for the life of me, I don't even understand why you would want to go on a jog if you were worth $10 billion. If I was worth $10 billion, I'm not jogging ever. I'm getting fucking blood transplant. Like, I'm just getting everything fixed constantly.
Yeah, but
MRIs every day.
Sometimes, jogging is part of the healthy process.
I think if you're $10 billion, they can come up with something else.
Just
I don't
give you
think
a
so.
pill. that-
Yeah. They're like, all right,
Sort
you
of
just ran.
I think that's
That
the
was
point.
your running pill. Yeah.
I think that's why Mark Zuckerberg rolls jujitsu.
I know. You're probably right.
I ran past the jujitsu studio this morning, and there was a Orthodox Jewish dude with shaved head and ringlets.
Yeah.
And just imagine like getting the shit beat out of you, like in a some kind of rear naked chokehold, and someone's ringlets just like knocking against the side of your head like a ball sack. Just it must be the most emasculating way to go down.
Big
It's just,
time.
Just getting
Mhm.
tickled by a ringlet as you get choked out to death.
There's no way to come out of that not anti-Semitic. It's really, you're in a losing battle. You either win and you are anti-Semitic, or you lose and you're now anti-Semitic as a
Right.
result of
You can't
losing.
fight. You just have to lay down your gun in front
Yeah.
of them. You can't fight the Orthodox Jewish guy at the Renzo Gracie gym.
Is that what it is?
There's multiple Gracie gyms, all different. Every Gracie, there's a billion Gracie brothers. They all have fucking.
They have the Gracie gyms are in New York City.
Yeah, they have a few.
Really?
There's one in Brooklyn where I ran past. There's one right by our office.
Might have to get in the mix.
You
Start
gonna
rolling
roll?
a little bit.
You gonna roll with Zuck?
I wouldn't hate rolling.
It
No,
must
I
be
wouldn't.
amazing to like roll with Zuck and like choke him out in the morning, like just being like a painter.
It's big time.
A guy
yeah.
who like does like HVAC work and then just chokes out Zuckerberg in the morning. You think they make you let him win?
No, because he definitely doesn't go to a public gym.
You don't think so?
He probably thinks he does, and it's
Yeah.
probably not.
It's probably like
they
hired
probably
actors that
built
his
a
wife
Planet
bought.
Fitness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
definitely is.
It's just
Wow,
all-
another win, Mr. Zuckerberg. Arigato gozaimasu, sensei.
Yeah, he thinks he speaks fluent Chinese or fluent Japanese. He doesn't speak a lick of it. Doesn't speak a word
He's
of
just
it.
saying gibberish, and they're like just nodding back,
Oh.
laughing at his jokes.
That would be awesome. That's what it's probably like, though. I mean, dude, what is that comparison? I saw a comparison the other day of someone talking about, like, if you have $1 million, I think it's 11 months and seconds. I think 1 million is 11 months and seconds, and 1 billion is 30 years and seconds.
What are you talking about?
I know what you're talking about. I don't know if you're exactly saying it right, but I don't know how to say it either.
Comparing money to scale of time?
Yeah. And I think that's what it was. I think it's like 1 million is close to a year, and 1 billion is 30 years.
So if every dollar is a second, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And then he was also like...
And then imagine, like, Elon Musk has, like, 300 billion.
Right. But the ups and downs of Tesla...
True.
...are so extreme that at any moment he loses... $10 billion a day or gains.
Are you worried about getting Tesla hate crimed?
We've talked about it before. Have your worries increased at all?
No.
None? Have they gone down at all?
I don't drive my Tesla as a message to the people I drive by that I care about government efficiency.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
The way that yeah, that's true.
Well, they should see that my car is beat to shit and think, oh, well, clearly he bought that before.
Or they're thinking, looks like a couple people tried to start the job and didn't get to finish it off.
Yeah.
Let's get in the mix.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah.
Some good soldiers started. Okay, guys, can we take a freaking second and talk about food? Can we?
I hope so. I'm hungry. Lord knows it.
This show is all about food deep down because
Mhm.
it's food for thought. And when you think about food, you probably think about unhealthy, thawed out patties that are dripping with grease, especially if we're talking fast food. But if you're on a tight schedule and need to save time, you might not have any other option. And if this sounds familiar, you need to check out Tempo. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that delivers chef-crafted meals from a dietitian-approved menu straight to your door. Tempo serves up fast, feel-good, single-serving meals that are crafted to cook in 3 minutes so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my freaking parents at out there? Sometimes you don't have time to hit the cast iron skillet and chef up a multi-course risotto or whatever. You need something that's going to be fast. You're going to need something, 3 minutes. Something fresh, something delicious. And for a limited time, Tempo is offering our listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/boydad. That's tempomeals.com/boydad for 60% off your first box. Tempomeals/boydad. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Guys, step up your grooming game with the new Stson line of cooling men's grooming collection. If your face ever feels tight and dry after shaving, this is your fix. I shave. I have sensitive skin. I cannot stand shaving, and it has been made far more palatable and refreshing of an experience thanks to the aftershave cooling balm, right? Love that. That's one of my favorites. The 2-in-1 face and beard cooling exfoliant wash. I do that before I shave. It gets me ready. There's all sorts of stuff here. We got the cooling shave oil. Provides a close and comfortable shave. Comes in really nice scents. Their high-performance formulas use advanced cooling technology that feels amazing on your skin, and they smell incredible. Thanks to the Stson Spirit fragrance. We've got amber, sage, sandalwood. That's some manly stuff right there. The full lineup covers you start to finish, pre-shave, shave, and post-shave. There's a 2-in-1 face and beard exfoliant wash, a breakthrough cooling shave oil for a close, smooth shave, and 2 refreshing aftershave options, moisture splash, and a soothing balm. Premium formulas, no fuss grooming, and each one just $7.97. A lot of shave products have gotten very expensive, and this stuff feels like something you'd get at one of the highest end, hotels in the world, and it's only $7.97. Stson is the brand, $7.97, and the full collection is now available exclusively at Walmart, in stores, and online. Guys, this podcast is brought to you by ChatBCC. The three of us are in a group chat on ChatBCC. It's an awesome sort of messaging service where you guys can join our group chat. It's as simple as that. You can comment, you can follow along, create side chats, ask us questions. We are interacting. Harry was sending some Halo highlights and busting my balls on there not too long ago. I send cooking recipes, and Roan sends workouts. Those are kind of the things we've been contributing.
I was talking about a little bit of Mark's letter to the Romans, recapping the Bible verses that I heard in church on Sunday. But I mean, you can get my Bible breakdowns exclusively on ChatBCC.
That's where they live. That's
some
where
good
they
Halo
die.
clips too.
Yeah,
yeah, just like Francis just said.
I know. I'm just nailing that down.
We'll have fun guest stars joining in too. Come join the chat. We promise it'll be a good time. We are actively using this. We like this product a lot, and it's a fun way to interact with you guys and kind of just have a little more low key of conversation as opposed to us angrily responding to.
Basically, we just took our group chat from. Sorry to interrupt. But
no,
we
that's
basically just took our group chat from our text and we just put it onto there.
Yeah. So go to boydad.chat. That'll prompt you to download the app and jump right in. Boydad.chat. That's ChatBCC.
Guys, baseball is here, okay? Baseball is back, and there's nothing like getting out to a baseball game, especially last minute. Luckily for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. How about the Sox trading Devas?
I know.
How pissed were you?
Devastated.
Devastated.
Sick to my stomach.
I know, I saw you drop to your knees like when Trump got inaugurated. You were fucking screaming at the sky. But it doesn't matter. Boston will field a good team, and you'll be able to get out to the game with Game Time. Pull up your chosen event, pull up the Game Time picks setting, the GT pick setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time picks dealers near you on your Game Time app homepage. I mean, those Red Sox tickets are going to be a little bit cheaper now and much cheaper with Game Time. Pretty good deals that they have over there. So what are you waiting for? Get the Red Sox tickets today with Game Time picks. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Create an account and use code BOYDAD for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code BOYDAD for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it?
Game time.
I would be worried about the Rivian owners. They have to have some hatred towards you. You ever see those Rivians?
I like the Rivians. I've driven in one. The issue I have with the Rivian is that the automatic braking is very extreme.
Is this another electric car?
Mm-hmm. They make the pickup truck that everyone wanted.
It's like a sexy little pickup truck that has a tube through the middle for your snowboard. There's like a specific snowboard compartment.
I don't hate it.
The pickup truck's cool, but honestly, I've driven in the Ford F-150 Lightning. That thing is fucking awesome.
That's electric too, I'm assuming.
All electric, powerful.
Damn.
Beastly. The Rivian's, sort of sweet and cute and modern.
So it's a good starter car.
But the F-150 electric feels and looks like a big old Ford F-150.
Yeah. It's like a shock of lightning.
A year or two ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I put myself on the wait list for the Range Rover electric.
What were you going to do if you got selected for that?
I don't know, man. I just figured I have no idea when this is actually going to come out, and hopefully I'll have enough money at that time.
Is that like early decision to a college? Like you're locked in?
No, I think I could pass. But I also had the thought that if I got on that wait list early enough that when it came out and I finally got one, maybe the demand would be so high that I could then flip it.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
That'd be nice.
You probably can.
Speaking of, here's
watching you flip a Range Rover and failing at it would be the funniest shit.
I can't sell this Range Rover.
They're charging me so much in the garage because it's worth so much.
It has an armed guard next to
You're
it.
just keeping like a $300,000 car in the fucking parking garage in Dumbo.
Fundamentally, I do not have the money right now to buy the car should I be allocated one. However, I will say that here's a strategy that I've been told and I've flirted with a couple times. New York Knicks, first round of the playoffs, right? You can buy tickets should they make the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
As they progress through the playoffs, the hype around their run grows and grows and grows.
Of course.
So even if you buy those tickets in the first round on Game Time, by the time they make the NBA Finals and they've come 7 games through the Pacers, and now they're facing a team in the finals that, holy shit, Knicks first time in the... Those tickets will be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
And you can then flip them again on Game Time. I think that's a pretty good strategy.
Flipping tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is, and it's good for game time too.
I think the only downside to any of those types of things is the risk that someone's going to say, we don't want your tickets.
Then worst comes to worst, you go to a Knicks game.
True.
There you go.
That's
it's
a win.
probably not going to feel as good, though, when you're like, this was not the plan. You're sitting courtside, and you're like, I was not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
You're valeting
On the
your electric
floor.
Range Rover.
I can't believe I have the car and the tickets. Oh my God. I really doubled down on the flipping game. But you know what? You know where you really need to do this? Houses. Houses. Everybody flips houses.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm going to buy one in a gentrifying neighborhood right on the way up.
Have you ever flipped anything? Like with your sole purpose while you were buying the product to be, I'm going to flip this.
Successfully?
Yeah. I have once.
I've flipped some sneakers.
Actually, I have twice. That was similar. I flipped a pair of sunglasses and a jacket.
I flipped some sneakers.
Was it reversible? The fuck?
Now from FTP.
What's that?
It's a clothing brand.
What does it stand for?
It stands for fuck the population.
Actually?
Yeah. It was like they were big in probably 2016.
And were they tough to come by?
Yeah, I bought a pair of those Kurt Cobain sunglasses. The big white ones with the old lenses. They're
with
like
the
sunglasses.
slotted stripes across the middle?
No.
Oh, those are the Kanye West ones.
Yeah, those are the Kanye West.
Imagine flipping those.
You know what I'm talking about. The Kurt Cobain sunglasses. The FTP put out a pair of them, and I think I bought them for like $300 and sold them for like $600.
How'd you get them?
I literally just got a notification on my, they popped up, I was like on Instagram or something, and they dropped right when I opened up the app.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
How'd you have enough money in 2016 to do that?
I had jobs.
I won
I had $300.
Steve.
I won the...
It was all my money, probably.
On the sneakers app, I was allocated a pair of the OVO 12s.
Ooh.
The white Drake 12s, Jordan 12s. So I bought them for retail, and then I sold them.
For how much?
How much you sell them for?
Probably like $900 at the time.
Dang.
And I
What was
bought them for
retail?
like $160.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
The jacket, I think I damn near hit a lick on.
What was it?
That was also an FTP. It was an FTP jacket, because then I was like, I got the hunger, you know?
I'm a flipper now. I'm Gary
flip.
V at the yard sale.
And that one, there was one that I didn't sell, that wouldn't sell. That one I think I made a lot of money on because it was like a nice windbreaker. It was actually a sick jacket. I think I might have worn it around the house a couple times. I sold that one for a lot, and then I got a crew neck sweatshirt that never sold, and I still have it, but I very rarely wear
Dude,
it.
flipping is tough.
It's like a small.
I'll buy it. How much? How
100,
much?
100 bones.
What'd you pay for it?
I have no idea.
The trick to flipping is that you have to do it with stuff that you don't actually like yourself.
Yeah.
Because every time I've tried to flip something that I actually liked, I end up just using the profits to buy more of the thing.
Yeah.
And then I have this Sophie's choice of deciding whether I want to keep it or flip it.
Yeah.
I was in the flipping game of cocaine for a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was trying to flip it, you know, and I would buy it and then
get high
sell
off your own supply.
but I would only just finance my
That's
own
the
habit.
10 crack commandments
Happens,
right there.
yeah. One.
Mm-hmm.
Never get high off your own supply.
Is that one?
No, that's not
Numero
one.
uno. What does he say?
It don't fuck if the coochie stink. I'm pretty sure is what he said. Two dicks and chicks don't mix, or something like that. You ever watch those flipping videos of shoes online? That's one of the TikTok types of videos that
I
always come
love
up.
those videos.
I do
And
too.
then they're banging the soles.
And
And it's
sniffing
like, it
the
should sound like
toes.
a watermelon.
See how that's hollow? And you're like, no, it just sounds like you're slapping a shoe, to be honest.
Sorry, we don't want them.
It's like an 8-year-old shows up with clearly a worn pair of Jordans that he got at Walmart for $20.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got the box? No, they didn't come with a box. and then the dad standing in the background, and it's just some fucking 19-year-old kid just slapping the sole as he's watching
He's
his
like,
child's...
best I could do is 140.
yeah.
And the kid's like, flip a coin?
Yeah.
Those are great. I like those. I like watching the card videos too. It really is. A lot of those industries are really just fucking younger children out of money.
Dude, when I was 23, I think, I had a major elbow surgery.
Oh, wow.
I
Tommy
had to have a
John's?
debridement of my elbow.
Ooh.
They scraped out all this flaking cartilage.
Was it
because-
from
Jesus
sports?
Christ.
Mhm. Yeah. And just had to get all the fucked up cartilage removed, and then they do a microfracture. So they drill all these tiny little holes into the elbow bone, and then that creates scar tissue, which acts as a viable substitute for cartilage. It's actually really well done
That's pretty
surgery.
insane.
Shout out Dr. Charles Olchek at the Hospital for Special Surgery.
How do you remember that?
You don't forget Olchek.
You were 19?
No,
No,
I was
23.
like 23.
Oh.
How do you didn't even remember the age that he said 10 seconds beforehand?
Hey, maybe lay off the old
You're never gonna remember old
That ain't
Olchek.
me.
the cushy cush over
That
there.
ain't me.
So I had that surgery, and I remember in the days following the surgery, they'd given me some painkillers, Percocets or whatever.
Molly
30s?
Percocet.
I don't know what it
30s,
was.
15s.
I think it was still at a time when before Dope Sick.
Yeah.
So maybe it was even Oxycontin. I think it might have been Oxycontin. And I had taken a couple, whatever, just the normal prescribed amount. And I was walking the streets of New York during the day with my arm in a sling. And I walked into one of those versions of like a flight club.
Yeah.
And I saw that they had a pair of the Paranorman foam posits.
Mhm.
You ever seen those?
No.
You ever seen those?
Yeah.
They were a limited release based on that show Paranorman, I think, or that movie.
I'm not familiar.
I just know foam posits. I'm not
I know
sure.
the foam posits, yeah.
These were a really limited release, and they cost $3,000, and they had them in my size, and I was a little loopy from my
Oxycontin.
thing, and I said, I'll take those, and I bought them. And then a week later, I realized what I had done,
You came out of an Oxycontin haze.
and I was
The
I was
constipation finally cleared.
fortunately
I got to shit out.
yeah, I had not worn them, and the way that I opened the box without opening it was I took a hair dryer and I loosened the glue by melting it on one side so that I could open it without pulling the thing,
Yeah.
and I could look at the shoes, and I would take them out and look at them, touch them and stuff.
Yeah.
And then as the painkillers, as I stopped taking them, I was like, I can't own these. These are too expensive. I can't afford
These
this.
are like a piece of art.
So I listed them on eBay,
And you're 23.
and I took pictures of them like near my window so they were well lit.
Yeah.
But I didn't have much of an eBay profile. I'd never sold anything
Yeah.
on there. So a lot of people were messaging me being like, these don't look real. Where's your fucking credibility?
Yeah.
And I ended up managing to sell them on to some guy in China for $2,600.
Okay.
And
You took a
$400
$400 loss for nothing?
I would assume that was after desperation. Or was that your first offer?
no, I had a lot of offers, but that was the best one.
But imagine the shipping to China for those.
I went to Kinko's, and paid for all that and shipped them.
How much
I
is
gotta
that
pee
shipping?
I don't know exactly, but I think maybe the buyer paid for the shipping. Either way, I was like, I just need to get out of this and do damage control.
Yeah.
So I got out of it and lost $400.
It's not terrible.
No, it could have been worse.
There is some good weight off your shoulders when you sell something for that.
I also applied this exact same level of thinking to when I was buying crypto. Every time I ever bought crypto, I would buy it, it would go up for a second, and then it would start sinking, and I'd freak out.
Yeah.
And I would sell it at a loss, but be like, well, what a relief I didn't go all the way down.
Yeah. It's like cashing out of a bed early.
I'm so bad at holding investments.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't really do any of my own money stuff.
Yeah. Investing's tough. I kind of was the same way, and then I just stopped looking at it. Because I would do the same. I would wake up every morning, and I would be like, down $200 today. You're going to have to work a little harder.
That's what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a funny thing happen where this past weekend I was playing that golf course.
Yeah.
And a guy who was friends with the guy that I'd been set up to play with DM'd me and was like, hey, I saw that you're playing golf with this guy. Why don't you and I create a match? I'll give that guy, I checked both your handicaps. I will give you 5 strokes. He should get 5 strokes based on your handicap differential, but we're also factoring a little bit of that it's his home course. How does that sound? Does that sound fair? $200. What do you think? I read the message briefly.
Yeah.
I thought this guy was going to be playing golf. Have I told this story?
No.
Okay. I thought this guy was going to be playing golf with us.
Yeah.
So I like playing golf for money.
Yeah.
And I agreed. I was like, oh yeah, $200 for a match sounds great. Like, that'll be fun. I didn't read the whole message. I just thought we would be playing a $200 match.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine with me. And we incorporating handicaps and stuff. After the day ended, he messages me again and he was like, sounds like you whooped him pretty good. And he Venmo'd me $200.
Oh.
And
so he was just getting action on your guys' game?
Correct.
That's insane.
I know. And I ended up, because it was a thing where like, if he had Venmo requested me, I would have been like, dude, what is this for?
Yeah. Well, so he was never even there?
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Setting up a... That's insane.
I know.
So do you think he's actually friends with that guy, or you think he
Yes,
just does that every day?
I do, because he would, in order for him to have found out who won that match, he would have had to message that guy who told him, yeah, Francis actually beat us.
That's
and if you
by
didn't
more
pay,
than 5 strokes.
he would have come to the golf club and laid down 3 guns on the fucking
I know.
Exactly.
the clubhouse.
3
That's
9
why.
irons.
So he was never even... That's like...
I really don't. There's so much ethics involved with like paying up on shit like that, like a dice game, or like someone will bet something and people hold up money and you have to like grab all of it and like pay out everything.
Yeah.
Or like if you're just side betting on something, you just have to expect that people are going to pay. I'm sure that stuff doesn't get paid in the NBA all the time on these like flights and card games.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how you, That's how you get into trouble.
And that's how you get into trouble.
Hmm.
All right. Should we wrap it up?
Let's do it.
What are we at time-wise?
Probably like 55.
Well, I'm in Chicago maybe this weekend. If I'm not, it's past it. But I'll be at Zany's Rosemont all weekend. The downtown shows are sold out. Come check it out at punchup.live/Francis Ellis.
Sweet.
I am in Tennessee coming up, Knoxville.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be
And
really nice.
Hairball and I will be in the Ryder Cup, which you
Yeah.
guys should check out. Give that a whirl.
Is
And,
that live?
I can't remember.
I don't think so.
And Sass, you're doing Summer House, right?
And then I'm doing Summer House. Yep. Which I'll be out for that.
It should be a fuck
They're
fest.
going to tear you up,
Yo, yeah, big time.
That
They're
should be an
gonna
absolute fuck fest for
rip
you.
you to pieces. Dick's going to collect mold.
I got dates
Won't
coming up
dry
in the
out.
fall. Chicago, Nashville, stuff like that. I'll update my website, get it up there, but I don't even know if I have the ticket links for that yet. But more on that to come. All right, we'll see you guys.
Are you still pissed about not being invited to Rhea and Marty's wedding?
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, we'll be back next episode. Goodbye.